Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I want to share a little story with you, one about second changes and how our taste in music can change over the years. The first time I realized this was back in 2010. I was 11 years old and had just started getting into Japanese music, mostly anime songs. My introduction to the genre came through the classic Japanese anime from the 90s and 2000s. As for Western music, I was all about Michael Jackson. One day, while I was playing at school, a friend called me over, saying there was a girl in our class who also listened to Japanese music. Now, I don't know how things are today after the Korean pop boom, but back in 2010, listening to Japanese or Korean songs instead of Western music made you kind of an outsider. Even among kids who loved anime, it was rare to find someone who actually listened to Japanese music. So naturally, I had to talk to her. I don't remember her name, but I do remember one key thing. She wasn't into any songs at all. She was into visual kei. That was the first time I had ever heard of the genre. She recommended a band called The Gazette. If you're unfamiliar, The Gazette is a rock band that formed in 2002. By 2010, they were already a huge deal in Japan. And thanks to the internet, they were gaining popularity in the West as well. When I got home, I did what I always do when I discover something new. I went straight to Wikipedia. I found out that their last album at the time had been released in 2009. So I hopped onto YouTube to check them out. The first song I listened to was Guren. I don't remember exactly why, but my 11 years old self just wasn't into the sound. But as I mentioned in my last video, my taste in music started to shift after I discovered and became a fan of X Japan in early 2014. Fast forward to 2015, and one day, YouTube recommended me a newly released music video from The Gazette. It was Dogma, the title track for their upcoming album. Now, my 16 years old self loved it. From that moment on, The Gazette became one of my favorite bands. And funny enough, my favorite eras of the band ended up being their early albums, including the one with Guren, the song I originally disliked, and their most recent releases after Dogma. The second time something like this happened to me was with one of the most successful Japanese bands of all time, L'Arc and Ciel. I think it was around 2011 or 2012 when I was on the hunt for new bands to listen to. That's when I came across L'Arc and Ciel. They're a mainstream jrock band, but they've done some anime songs too, so I figured I'd give them a shot. But I made a bad choice. The first song I listened to was Ophelia from their album Awake, and I really didn't like it. Back then, my method was to look up an album first and then check out live performance. But for me, that was a mistake, because bands usually perform their best songs live, not necessarily the ones I'd stumble upon first. It wasn't until 2018 that I gave them another shot. That time, I was researching 90s Japanese music, and I did things differently. I watched a live performance before diving into their studio album. I don't remember if the first song I heard was Honey, their most famous one, or Flower, but either way, I was hooked. And just like that, L'Arc and Ciel became one of my favorite bands too. After those experiences, I made it a habit to watch a live performance before listening to an album or a specific song. But who knows, maybe sometimes this year or next, I will revisit another band or artist I once dismissed and end up becoming a fan. I still wonder what exactly makes this happen. Is it just age? Is it all about first impressions, like if you heard the wrong song first, it can ruin your perception of the band? Or is it more about what kind of music you are into at a specific time of your life? We all go through different phases after all. Have you ever had a similar experience? A band, singer, or even a movie you didn't like at first, but later grew to love? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. And be sure to check out my main channel, where I post remixes, rearrangements, covers, and sometimes even original music. Thanks for watching.